Hello, my name is James Spiro and this is CTech's Out of the Bubble series. We're here in Beer Sheva today, where I have the pleasure of speaking to Ayelet, Shlomi, Yifat and Eran. Folks, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Before we get going, there are four of you here today, so we can either go down or we can go up, and whichever works best for you. But what I'd like to do first is start by asking, why Beer Sheva? Why are we here today?
So Beer Sheva is the capital of the southern part of Israel. So there is a very large area that is the Negev area, and we have great population here, and we have a great community here, and we have the university, the Ben Gurion University here, which is a very good engine of creating new, great human capital for our high-tech industry. Personally, it's home.
Yeah, so university is a good start because I'm part of the university. I was the first chair of computer science department in 20,000, so it not long ago, but the development from something like 13 faculty members to 45, and being ranked by some ranking being the 10 best in the world, computer science. And we are very happy with this ranking. We don't check too much, but so this development just tell you about the spirit. It's young, it's really creation, it's not just, maintaining. Everything is blowing and changing. And you see it in front of your eyes, because all this park, for instance, wasn't here when I came. Nothing was here. So it's not long ago. And then you get IBM cybersecurity worldwide arriving here. Deutsche Telekom arriving here. And everybody just realized that this is economically, it's the best place to be, because the costs are not as in Tel Aviv, and the talent are here, and you can just get all the good things being here.
So basically, James, I came from the startup scene of the center. I worked in Tel Aviv, and then I came here to Beer Sheva, and I was surprised to meet a vibrant community, a very strong community, and various people, like they say, a talent, people with the IDF background, people from the university, a lot of academics, a lot of IDF. And I think the community here is very strong, and Beer Sheva is definitely becoming more and more in the front of the cyber scene and the fintech. We've opened up a lab here, the FinSec Innovation Lab, by Mastercard Global and by NL Global, two major companies, technologies, global companies that came here because they believe in Beer Sheva. And also a strong community with X7, with Negev and other community and other incubators and accelerators that truly believe in the innovation that's coming out of Beer Sheva. And also we have like an open door policy, even from Ruvik Danilovich. He is very much involved in everything we do, and I don't see any other city in the country that you have the mayor so involved and so up to date in what we are doing here. So awesome community.
Beer Sheva is a great place. I grew up here, and it's full of talent and innovation. Oracle spotted this quite long time ago. We're one of the first companies, major global corporations, to come into the park here on the first building. And that was about 11, 12 years ago. And their commitment to the park and the commitment to the area is shown. We're developing major features in the global Fortune 500 companies. And we really know how to use the talent that we have here in the Negev.
Thanks, folks. I'd like to kind of stay on that topic of talent and how Beer Sheva as a hub is growing. How do we attract talent to Beer Sheva to come here, but also to stay here and keep it growing? I mean, conventionally, people's views of hubs are more the Tel Aviv, as we mentioned, the central hubs. How do we attract people to Beer Sheva?
So I would say that there is the community of the students that are coming along to the Ben Gurion University, and some of them would like to stay here because they have a great experience during the studentship period. It's also about opportunities. So one depends on the other. So when we have more places that offer great job, great technologies, the bleeding edge of the technology, when it's here, people would stay to work here. And as the southern area of Israel is growing and developing, more and more opportunities for people to stay.
So we didn't mention the army. And the army is now building so many buildings nearby. And the most talented soldiers will be around here. And the opportunities are great, I just work with some of them. And they are very smart. It's, they will make the change of the area, no doubt. It will be really a big change. And already, companies identify the opportunity and they come here also because of this. So it's a government issue. They declared Beer Sheva as being the cyber capital of Israel, put the cyber center of Israel here, even their own branches. And it makes a change and also gave some assistance in salaries. So it's really something they want to promote for a reason, because they want Israel to grow to the land that is still not developed enough, which is the Negev. Negev is, the area of the Negev is like the entire other Israel. It's half of the country. And the government understand it and want to make it somehow flourish, but by using high-tech, which is something that is very good for all. And it's proved itself here. You can see it.
So basically that's a great question, because all the talents are already here. Like you mentioned, we have students, we have IDF people. The question is, how do we remain them here? It's maybe a two answers question. First of all, you have the governmental entities that can support, and like Shlomi said, create more programs like our innovation program. The initiative came from the Ministry of Finance, the IIA, the Israel Innovation Authority, the INCD, the Israel National Cyber Directorate. They are very much involved, and they really want to stay to keep all those talented here. So they create more and more places to work, more and more global businesses that are coming here. Also, you have really young families that coming here, because even when you're buying an apartment, it's cheaper in the south than in the center. So that's another incentive.
I can tell you a personal story from our company and the earlier days of the area as a high-tech hub. And at those times, it would be very rare to see people coming in from Tel Aviv and working here. And in these days, it's not a rare scene, especially with all the remote working advantages, to see people coming in from Tel Aviv and working in Oracle here or other companies, and even people in our company that have moved to the center of Israel keep on coming and keep on working here, even though the advantages of having many high-tech corporations in the center, they still come over here. So that says a lot. And this triangle of government, academy, and industry that we have here, and the incentivations that they give one to each other in this triangle, this is what helps bring talent over here, improving transportation and improving the academy here, having more space for the growing demand of students to learn here. That's what the government can help us here with this.
And of course, the vibe here is relatively different, meaning the departure rate of employees here is relatively low. People are really come here to work. They are loyal to the place they are been. They're not like jumping from company to company, and they're not expecting to get a higher offer and then to leave. They really come here to be devoted to the places they are in. So that's also something that really attracts employees here, and the talented are great.
Thanks, folks. We've spoken about government, and we've spoken about its role and the company's role and the people, and we've spoken about a lot of positives. I'd like to kind of dig a bit deeper and ask about the challenges. Are there any unique challenges about being based in Beer Sheva that maybe other regions in the country don't face? What do those look like uniquely to here versus other places?
So this is an area where we're slowly growing. So the offering, the variety of companies that you can go and work for is much lower than what you have in the central of Israel, and some additional environmental areas are also not at the same level like in the center of Israel, like, let's say, hospital. We have the most crowded hospital in the country. And that's an issue when you are, as family. This is one of the considerations that you would take. So the government needs to support that more rapidly to support the growing change and the velocity of this change. But I think that this is happening over time. So this park was not here a few years ago, and this is a great change that is taking place.
So I think there is some place to improve the transportation to Tel Aviv or to the center. If we had a train of instead of 1 hour, 30 minutes, then it will be much more convenient. And this was, the change was made before because there was no train even every hour. So it will, I think, develop when the army is here. So it will be like, traveling from Tel Aviv to some neighboring city. And then you will feel the change much more, and people will like to work here because you don't have to stand with your car in all these traffic jams. You just take a train and arrive here. And the train station was, is very close, and it was just planned like that, so that it will be easy to arrive and to. So this is something that should be improved over time.
So I'm guessing one of the major challenges, we are talking to entrepreneurs every day now because they are trying to be accepted to our program, to our accelerator, to our lab, so we can support them in their first difficult year. The problem is most of the people are reading about the unicorn, about the major money funding and raising, but a lot of them are not aware of the challenges that entrepreneurs having it on a daily basis. And here, entrepreneurs from the south, if you think about it, we barely have funding in the south of Israel. Most of the VCs, most of the funding, everything sits in Tel Aviv. So for them, it's like it's difficult perception-wise to say, I'm here. There is an innovation here in Beer Sheva. There is awesome ideas here in Beer Sheva, because most of the money and most of the well-known companies sits in the center. And I think that a lot of entrepreneurs having those difficulties on a daily basis, and they really need this support. For example, when we open up our program, we published the call for application at February. By December, we had 120 applicants. That's a lot. And unfortunately, we can only facilitate around 5 or 6 companies at a time because we really want to give them our maximum attention. That leaves 115 ideas without support. You know what that means? That means there are 150 great ideas here without anyone that can support them at the beginning. So that's a major challenge. And I think that as if more plans like ours, more programs will open up, that can be a major game changer for entrepreneurs in the South.
Okay, so what I think, and I'll continue what Shlomi said here. I think that some of the challenges are that we have great demand for learning in higher education, and we need more supply for that. We need the government's commitment to the university to grow, to actually realize, and to provide places for all these students that want to stay with their centers of their lives here in the area with their families. and not go on to Tel Aviv after they finish their studies, and they want to study here rather than there. So providing that will help. And general government expenditure on facilities, on transportation, especially transportation, connecting us as a 30-minute train. They've spoken about it a lot, to the major hubs of the Israeli high-tech. 30 minutes is nothing by train, and you've got the university and the park here on the train station. These things can greatly enhance the challenges and give us what we need here.
Thank you. We've mentioned that Beer Sheva is the cyber capital. We've mentioned the help that the government's giving and the army. How can we attract these big companies, these Mastercards, these big international places, both Israeli large companies and international companies, to come and set up shop in Beer Sheva? What can we do to entice those folks? And we can go this way.
Okay.
Right.
On the issue of attracting large corporations here and utilizing the army personnel that are coming down here, we can greatly enhance this attractment because we have the expertise here. We have the highly technically inclined and senior personnel in the high tech. Large corporations see other large corporations sitting here in the park, investing and committing and putting their R&D centers here. Oracle started off. You saw Dell here. You see Microsoft coming here. You see a lot of multinational large corporates investing here in the Negev and utilizing the available personnel that exists here, and not necessarily wants to move on to Tel Aviv to live there. So you see this growing demand in the whole country for people like that, and many of them exist here. So you don't have to fight. They already exist here. You could utilize this and have great performance in your company.
I think that the way you can attract big and global companies is by showing them the potential here in the South. And as much as companies can change here the impact and do major things, eventually government has the ability to change the reality. And they did so by doing two things. One is to declaring Beer Sheva as the cyber capital of Israel. And the second is moving the IDF divisions here to Beer Sheva. Those are things that really change the reality here in Beer Sheva. And more companies, if you know what, if Beer Sheva was once the backyard of the innovation scene, it's now coming to the front. There is still a gap, okay? There is still a gap. Let's talk about it. But we can mitigate that by showing the potential, by showing that companies like Dell EMC and like Mastercard and like NL saw the potential and came here to do something really, really significant. And by combining those two, like the governmental support and the company support, we will create and we will mitigate this gap.
You look from Germany on Tel Aviv or Beer Sheva, they look like so neighboring. Because, if you look from abroad, the distance is nothing. So it's not, we brought Deutsche Telekom here, they look at Beer Sheva as something, just near Tel Aviv. It's not, they wanted some scouting on what is going in Israel, and they put it here. The same for IBM. IBM was in Haifa, which is also distance from Tel Aviv, but it's a very small country. You just have, and if you have incentive to be from the government and from the cost of how to rent some places for people, it's not the same here. Tel Aviv is the most expensive city in the world. So being so being here, it's a best deal. Another thing is the character of the people that work in high-tech. They like to create something from nothing. And if you come here, you create something from nothing. All this, you see, was not here a few years ago. You can say I was part of this miracle. And this is very important for people that are doing in this sector, working in this. They want to create something from nothing.
I can give an example for my company, CyberArk. So when CyberArk looked on the Beer Sheva opportunity, They looked on the great ecosystem that we have here, the collaboration across different companies and the collaboration with the university and with the IDF. So there's something about helping each other here that is very different from what you would find elsewhere. So I think this is a special characteristic of this specific area. And I think it's a very good opportunity for companies to come here and to, enjoy that.
Okay, thank you. Well, we can see that it's been growing over the last 5 or 10 years. Maybe it's not growing as quickly or as rapidly as maybe anticipated. What do you think can speed up that process, and where do you see Beer Sheva looking in, I guess, 5 or 10 years from now, when we're way into the development? Not only the cyber capital of Israel, but maybe the cyber capital of the world.
I think the right things are being done. Maybe not at the right pace, but they do happen. I think we talked about it before. It's mainly about investing in the university, investing in the population here, in the facilities, investing in transportation. So these are things that we already discussed. And I think that we need to enlarge this park or having additional parks like that, because we are missing places for companies at the moment. And this is a wonderful journey, and it's fun to be.
I think part of the arrival of this kind of high-level educated people to the area will have to change the infrastructure around it. For instance, for schools, for small kids, and make a real change that is blessed for Beer Sheva, but it will take time until all the environment just get to the level that is very good as we wish it should be. And it's overall, you can think, how can you change the economy of the people over all the people? And if you just pull the very high earning and active companies, all the people that also serve these people eventually also get good out of it. So it's very good for the area that we get very good high-tech here, and I think everybody understands it.
So I think that in order to accelerate the current pace, what you need to do is a couple of things. First, we need to allocate some more budget in the country, and the governmental entities have to do that and create more programs to accelerate the pace. And what we do, for example, Mastercard is very much committed to Girls for Tech. That's a program that starts from elementary school. Kids, girls at the age of 8, start learning development, start writing a code, start to understand what is high-tech, what's agility. And all those terms, when you teach them at early stage, later on, you can really see the blossoming here. So that's also something that we invest in. And as soon as you will have more programs, more accelerators, more budgeting allocating, and other support, you will see a lot of companies coming here, a lot of talent stay here, and in overall the business prosperity.
I'll start with the second part, how I see the park in several years ahead. So currently, we've got thousands of employees in the high-tech here. And if I look ahead, not too many years ahead, I could probably see tens of thousands working in the industry here. And all the major global corporations, if we already have NVIDIA and Oracle, Mastercard, and all the rest here, you'll start seeing Apple and Facebook and all the rest coming in, and Amazon. Everybody will set up a hub here. They see there are a lot of talented people they could use here, and why not? So they will come. Eventually they'll come, and I hope that the government will have the foresight to invest in the infrastructure at this stage now, and not at the end when suddenly everybody is already here and there are problems. This foresight can enhance the transportation that we talked about, enhance the facilities, enhance the education, enhance the university itself, the demand and the supply here, and those things will help materialize that kind of future.
All right, thank you, folks. We've spent some time talking about cyber and government and tech, and everything in between. It's been wonderful. Eran, Yifat, Shlomi, Ayelet, thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I've been James Spiro. This is CTech's Out of the Bubble series, and we've been in Beer Sheva. Thank you so much for tuning in.